Hey, you said you wanted to see me about something? Oh, you're in the cloud. Stupid me. I'm reshooting the garbage horror thing. That's right. God, that one we screwed up so bad last week that we had to send out the apology and all that. God, we got to do something really good for this one. Really off the charts. I mean, I hope you had a really good idea for what it's going to be. Well, what you got? I mean...
Gentlemen, I'm misfortune. To the ladies, I'm surprise. But call me by any name.
You are a dumb one. Gertie was a clown, not a mime. A clown. No invisible walls. God, how stupid can... Oh, why did you just... Oh.
Side makes you wriggle and ride, and it's so easy when you're evil.
Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Garbage Heart episode number 13, lucky number 13 no less.
So lucky that we deleted the first take.
This week we're doing ourselves a porno. That's right, this 2007 movie got an NC-17 rating. You know this is going to have some really good TNA action and... You can get that for violence? Fuck! Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
Garbage Horror episode 13, yada yada yada. The movie's 100 tears.
And it's quite an interesting one.
Yes indeed, and we were actually being honest earlier. This movie did receive an NC-17 rating in 2007, which is pretty impressive actually. Right. But indeed, it's not for sex, actually. This movie doesn't actually contain any sex or nudity. And one brief sex scene in it, but nothing's actually shown.
No.
No nudity. It's all based upon violence. If you've ever wanted to see an NC-17 movie based on violence, here you go.
Right.
This is actually a pretty strange movie in a lot of ways, and it has several honors in our mind. One, it's the first NC-17 movie we've done on this show.
Right.
Second, it's also the only feature presentation not made for TV or video that featured music of Voltaire. That's what we're wearing. I'm wearing the shirt. I don't know what you're wearing.
Yeah.
But anyways, so take us quickly through 100 Tears, would you?
Okay. Well, basically, we have two reporters, Mark and Jen, who are working for the Midnight Star, which is one of those trash magazines that you find at the grocery store.
You can't take a good dump with...
Exactly. That's one of the things that they talk about in the movie.
Don't take a dump without the Midnight Star or something like that.
Exactly, and that's what gets people to talk to them.
Exactly.
But anyway, so they decide they want to do a hard-hitting story, something with some punch. And so they start looking at serial killers. Jen wants to do a story about serial killers.
Mark wants to raise the Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to raise the Titanic. She wants to do serial killers. And lucky for her, there's one roaming around their town.
Yeah, pretty close by. Convenient. Within driving distance.
Exactly. So, while the killer is actively killing people, the reporters are actively following the trail.
Exactly.
And the cops are...
Bungling idiots.
Yeah, bungling idiots. And Jen's sister, who's in the FBI, is giving her tips
about... we never actually see.
No, they just talk on the phone.
Yeah, in Greek.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's unbelievable for an FBI agent to put their sister in that much danger.
But the whole time this is going on, we're also following the story of Luther Baxter, better known as Gertie the Clown.
Edward Baxter.
Oh, please. But Luther is the serial killer in question, better known as the teardrop killer.
Right.
And his thing is, at all of his crime scenes, he leaves behind a bloody teardrop.
Right.
And he's killing all these people while in the clown get-up.
Right.
Full clown get-up, going around with a huge meat cleaver, hacking people up to bits. And so basically the entire movie is Gertie butchering people, interspersed with sequences of these reporters investigating the aforementioned murders he just committed. So basically it's butchering people brutally, people talking.
Yeah.
Butchering people brutally, people talking, back and forth, the entire movie.
Right.
Wouldn't you say?
That's pretty much it.
And I'm not saying it's a bad movie, by the way, in saying that.
No, there are plenty of twists to keep you interested.
Yeah, the plot actually is a little more involved than most of these. It still feels a little slow in places. The plot does seem to drag at times. But it is a little bit more involved and a little bit more interesting. And they actually have some pretty cool characters in it, too. Some people actually say, we'll talk more about it in the good, bad, best, worst.
Right.
But I gotta say one thing before we jump into the good, bad, best, worst.
Okay.
This movie did get the NC-17. We've harped on that a lot. I don't see how, though.
Well, it maybe stands for, when the two lovers are kidnapped
Yeah.
and she's on the table. That's pretty graphic for some people.
Yeah, but
and also the ones where people are cut in half and their guts fall out.
Yeah. I mean, there are some graphic scenes, but it's nothing we haven't seen in other garbage horrors. And as far as disturbing violence goes, Devil's Rejects, Natural Born Killers, they hit you on the much more visceral level. This one, I mean, maybe it's just how fake a lot of it seems, because some of the special effects are a bit cheesy. I think some of it's intentionally cheesy.
Yeah, some of it's cheesy. Some of it's good.
Some of it's quite good. It's hit and miss with the special effects throughout this. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't have that same reaction to me. It didn't bother me watching it. I never felt uneasy about it.
Right. And real quick, an example of a good special effect would be like the one with the girl and the guy that are taken.
They're kidnapped.
And an example of a really bad one is when Gertie is going after this girl.
This goth chickie girl.
Yeah. And he stomps on her head like a balloon.
Yeah, basically curb stomps her minus the curb.
Yeah, exactly. It's really funny. I'm sure you're watching it right now.
It's quite comical. Well, if we did this right, you are. It alternates between really good effects and really interesting ones to really just, what the heck were they thinking effects.
Right.
But honestly, the best way to talk about this movie is good, bad, best, worst. Okay. So the good, I guess I'm kicking off this week. The good, the music. Mm-hmm. Hey, Voltaire's is in this. Right, there's reason enough for me to consider part of the good. But honestly, the song they chose for Voltaire is When You're Evil. It's a great song. I love it. But it felt a little bit out of place in this movie, especially in the scene they included it in.
Right.
But all the music in this, other than that, pitch perfect, very interesting, great choices all around. I mean, really, the orchestra, the background music was some of the best I've heard in these garbage horrors. Really great stuff. Your best.
My best. All of the scenes where Gertie is in his lair, because the lighting is different, the music is right on like you were talking about. The shots, the angles that you see him from where he's sitting in front of the mirror and you see all of his collection of clowns that are around him. It's really nice. They do this
sepia-ish filter over it all. It's pretty trippy and actually works really well. A lot of times, these songs will throw up a sepia filter just to,
yeah, or some weird filter.
Be disturbed. And it doesn't work. But here it's pitch perfect. It goes with everything and it looks and feels great. Mm-hmm. Okay, your bad.
My bad. The reporter talking scenes.
Oh.
I mean, there are just so damn many of them.
So damn many and so damn trite at times.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, look. Mark and Jen. See, now I'm screwing up the characters. Yeah. Mark and Jen are both individually great characters.
Right.
I like them both. Mark's kind of the geeky, nerdy, awkward, socially awkward one.
Right, plays games.
Jen's the ball-busting, go-get-'em reporter type who doesn't take guff from no one. They're both pretty good, believable characters.
Right.
But the interaction between them doesn't make any sense.
No, and the fact that they're trying to throw some love triangle in
love,
love,
interest,
interest,
Doesn't work. It doesn't really go anywhere anyway.
No.
We'll spoil that one for you right now, but believe me, you don't need my help in spoiling that one. It's pretty obvious from the get-go. It's just, the interplay between them is really awkward and really forced. They're great characters, but the dialogue between them just doesn't work.
Believable separately, unbelievable together.
Indeed. My bad. The supporting cast. Once you get past the core players of this film, once you get past Mark, Jen, Gertie, Drago the dwarf, and a few of the others that are like really central to the plot, it begins to fall apart in terms of the acting. Like the kids at the halfway house. Oh boy. I'm looking forward to
much all of the fodder in this movie. Just ridiculous.
Yeah, you can tell they did a good job picking their best actors and getting them the important roles, but they had to scrape the bottom of the barrel for some of the fodder in this movie. I'm sorry to say it. It's just a rough all around whenever you get below the people that get 20 minutes of screen time. So the best, well, for me, the best is Christine Greaston. I can't really say too much about this character. She has a few scenes in the beginning of the movie that I'm sure be showing clips of right now. But she comes into toward the end of the movie. She's more of one of the twists, so I don't want to spoil her character. But she is an awesome character, well acted, well played, and well written. She reminds me a great deal of Harley Quinn from the Batman story. She's got that love of all things, gory and clowny and just so happy about everything in a sinister way. You really enjoy her screen time. She's really great and really impressive, and you can't wait for her to get back in front of the camera a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And your best?
My best is actually Gertie.
Fitting enough?
Yeah. I mean, he's, silent killer, which is...
great.
It's great, and it's pretty unusual these days.
Yeah, these days especially. I mean, even Mike Myers talked toward the end of the movie a little bit. He said a few lines at least.
Exactly.
One line, I think.
Yeah, but he's able to be creepy and without saying anything. You know exactly what he's thinking as he's killing. He really enjoys his work.
And he's got a very expressive face. It's helped by the clown makeup some. But he's very, very expressive with everything he does. His body movement, his facial expressions, everything. You know his feelings instantly.
Right.
And so I really do love that about him.
Mm-hmm. And in fact, Christine and Gertie were both of our number ones, and we decided to split them up and not take
we kind of had to. I mean, I'm agreeing with her, and she's agreeing with me completely. So we just kind of cheated and split up our unified number one, so it looked like there was tension. Yeah. And then we just completely ruined it. Yeah. Okay. My worst. Okay, part of the investigation, they go to a town that's full of carny folk, like Kearney Central in Florida. It's an actual town in Florida. It does really exist. And one of the characters they meet is Drago the dwarf. Now, Drago is actually a really cool character.
Yes, he is.
A, very believable as a carny guy, and B, he's just an awesome all-around guy. He does a pretty good job in general. Mm-hmm. But they have a scene where they first meet him, and he thinks they're cops, so he runs. A dwarf is running from two grown adults, one of whom, Jen, is very athletic. Right. And getting away. Yeah. I'm sorry. This whole scene should be overlaid with a Benny Hill theme. It is comical, it is silly, and it breaks the pacing of the movie entirely to me. Right. And in fact that Jen can't even catch Mark, who is overweight and never gets off the couch. It's unbelievable in that sense. Yeah, they make fun of Mark's inability to do 100 sit-ups earlier in the movie. And here he is just blowing past Jen in the chase sequence. It's a complete cluster of a chase sequence. It didn't belong in the movie, and it didn't add anything to the plot. No. It just broke the emotional continuity of the film for me. Right. And your worst? Unfortunately, my worst is another Drago scene. Emphasizing, we love you, Drago. Yes. They just gave you crap to work with in some places. Well, there's a scene where he's retelling Gertie's story and why he is the way he is. And I want to show a short clip of his retelling without getting into the actual story of why Gertie is the way he is. So that you can get the pacing of his character.
Roxy, she liked Raphael. Raphael, he was our strong guy. He was charming, and the ladies really loved him. They really did. And I think that's one of the reasons why Tracy and Roxanne, that's why they joined the circus. If you ask me, they were just wanting to bang the way up the East Coast.
So that's what I'm talking about. It's just, he doesn't have anything to work with, and it sounds like he's making up things on the spot. And he's not really that great of a storyteller. He's a good actor. He's good at being himself. Right. I mean, you get the feeling he's playing someone that's very natural to him on the screen, but his storytelling leaves a lot to be desired, unfortunately. But still, overall, Drago, awesome, but those two scenes with him fell very flat. Right. Luckily, he has a pretty good amount of screen time, and he does some awesome things at other points in the movie. Yeah. Otherwise, we'd be insulting the heck out of Drago. Mm-hmm. Recommendations, who would you recommend it to? I would recommend it to people who have friends with coulrophobia. And you're going to tell us what that is, aren't you? It's fear of clowns. Of course. Yeah, this is a great movie for the scared the pants off people who have fear of clowns. I mean, there are very few really, truly scary horror movies with clowns in it. It leaps to mind instantly. This one really does a good job making a creepy killer clown. It takes the natural eeriness of a clown and ramps it up times 1,000. The silent killer, who, even though he's dressed all goofy, isn't being goofy at all. No, he's not. He's being very deadly serious. He's smiling, but... he's not being funny. But not because it's funny. For me, parts of this movie really bordered on torture porn and murder porn. If you like that and you don't mind the fact that it's a little bit on the low budget side, this is a great film for you. If you're into like the Saw movies and you want something in that line and that theme, this is a good film. You should definitely check it out. It might not be on that same caliber, financially, but it's got some great moments and some great sequences in it. And I mean, plus, we're rooting for the old guy still, the cleaning guy. Yeah, I just remembered also that we didn't mention him earlier. There's a scene where Gertie's going through the halfway
The
house.
halfway house we mentioned just a little while
Right.
ago.
And he gets to this old guy, and the old guy's cleaning the floors. He's like,
He comes and sees the blood everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the
he
whole
sees
floor.
the clown, and the clown's covered in blood, and he's looking at him. And the old guy goes, I just cleaned these damn floors.
And then promptly gets killed.
Yeah.
It's a great scene, and he's probably the only of the sort of the supporting cast I actually liked in this
Right.
film. So, long story short, great scene. That's how you add humor into it without breaking the emotional continuity.
Right.
It was in, it was out, it was done. Unlike that chase sequence, which went on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, for a really lame joke.
Lame joke. Well, I think that's all we've got on this one. So on that note, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was Garbage Horror, episode number 13 for the movie 100 Tears.
And it's so easy when you're evil. This is the life you see. The devil tips his hat to me. I do it all because I'm evil. And I do it all for free. Your tears are all the pay I'll ever need.
Brains, I won't lie. I eat the brains till they're zombified.
That's the wrong song.